will hand that over to you.
Thank you. Yes, we've had a couple of opportunities to interact with two budgetary processes. One was when the incidences of positive cases on COVID came up as an initial direct response from government, and the second is the national budget, the longer term, the annual budget. With what we have been witnessing in terms of exactly the kinds of issues that have been raised by the different alliance members, keeping that in mind, individual organizations representatives have made the submissions. Hearing the field, and I think it's a better approach for us, is the more submissions pointing out for what we are saying, in terms of where is the government support around social protection, social welfare payments, how are we looking after those that need the cash transfers, the medical benefits, the NCD meds that we hear now that are running low. How are we interacting with all these needs and what could be provided? We feel as if more voices that saying those things is more important. So that is exactly what we have done. Taking the perspectives of what our alliance members have been hearing and putting that forward with the hope that it does translate into the budgetary a budget during this time that is compassionate and looks after exactly those people that we say we should be looking after. So there's so much that we as an alliance can speak about, so much that we as individual organizations can do, but there's a lot more that those that we put into power, into government, into leadership, they should be the ones responding to it. It's their work, and we call it when we have done it. So it's now we're waiting for a process to see, what will this annual budget look like, because we don't know when that's going to be announced, but we hope that when it is announced, it is with compassion in the areas for people that are really suffering, and there are hundreds of thousands of us who are suffering. Additionally to this, as an alliance, when a few weeks into the COVID-19 response, and as the alliance came together and individual members, we started talking about, what's happening, what are we doing to help the situation, because we should be the first to act and let's see what else is happening. We felt that a lot of information is coming around the restrictions on movement, mobility, expression, what we can and can't do, how to keep ourselves safe. But we're not hearing what the plans were. When we looked at what was happening in our neighboring countries, exactly as what was said earlier on, we heard about phased plans, concrete plans, not just looking at safety, security, and the restrictions of how we have to not spread false information, etc., but also looking at economic recovery, also looking at what is provided to people so that lives continue with dignity and respect, and in the way we have been doing that. So we, as an alliance, wrote to our Prime Minister. We wrote to our Prime Minister a letter asking him, to tell us in some ways about these plans, if there are plans, and also it was appreciated that he regularly communicated directly with us, the people of Fiji. So in those communications, he had the perfect opportunity to explain to us how these plans work. Unfortunately, he has not responded. It's been about 4 weeks since we have made the letter public, we sincerely hope that with this conversation that we are having, that at least we'll get to hearing about concrete plans rather than what we've heard on Sunday, which looks at, again, safety, security, and an assumption to going back to the old normal when we clearly know that that is not going to be possible for a very long time, or even impossible.
I just wanted to add to the budget conversation. So the Citizens Constitutional Forum carries out budget advocacy workshops and budget analysis workshops around the country, and the latest budget submission that we managed to submit was on behalf of Kandahu, Rakiraki, Rotuma, and Ovalau and Koro. Now, a lot of those communities, their need was access to clean drinking water. Now, that was even before COVID. So you can imagine the dire need right now. We see posters during the COVID context, wash your hands. How do you expect them to wash their hands when they don't have the basic need or access to clean water? So a lot of the infrastructure needs, they still keep coming up. This is even pre-COVID. So you can imagine the need right now in those communities for these services. Yeah.
I'll just add to that budget question. Family Pacific also submitted, we submitted a budget submission, and we did that practically hot off the press after we conducted the convenings in Nandi, Lautoka, and Bar. And we short run to be submitted because the deadline that was given was that particular day, which was Friday. Again, and what we basically touched on is what I said earlier, was really what had emerged then was access, government to ease off or ease the restrictions or help with access, whether it's access to land or access to the sea. So it was revolving around food security because of this, because also the impacts that it has on security and so forth. So that and at that, women were basically talking about a double pandemic. There was the effects of tropical cyclone Harold that they were still going through, and then we would have this pandemic. And what Shubhi was talking about, the plans and so on. And also, this pandemic, when does it end? We've heard that phase 2, that government, they're doing the phase 2. I didn't realize we were in phase 1. How many phases do we have? Where does it end? What's phase 2? What's phase 3? What's phase 4? What's the last phase? And so forth. And that's where the civil society and having an inclusive approach actually comes in. We're here, civil society, let's all talk about this and so forth.
We'll take maybe the last part of one is allowed to
So my question is, you mentioned the increase in the revenue percentage. I mean, percentage, what's the increase? Rural to urban, urban to rural, we haven't done percentage. What we do is we're monitoring our community partners over a period of time, every week. And we have seen that exactly 1 month since the lockdown, the numbers in the community started increasing. In most of the communities, you have 1 or 2 families. I'm talking over a series of 9 districts, 9 districts, 5 provinces, 38 partner communities. And the reports that are coming back to the Matanali is that where there are a few families returning, they can manage. They help them with the homes, they help them with the farms, they go and do Solidavaki. But when you have over 10 families or 40 individuals returning to the community at one time, they get a little bit concerned and overwhelmed because house becomes an issue, land becomes an issue, and a long-standing conflict over resources now becomes something that we're talking about. So we will continue to monitor this over time because it's about trying to shift understandings in the rural areas to maintain and to strengthen whatever traditional safety nets are there and that are under a lot of strain to help support in whatever way we can. So they are prepared for the influx that is no doubt going to happen. So in terms of percentage, no, but we are monitoring our partners over time.
You know, there's also a problem. There's also a problem because, you know, the reluctance to publicize the census report and showing us the, you know, the demographics. You know, that's a huge problem. We need that. We need that to be able to get the data and to develop solutions. You know, different communities. You know, things affect communities differently, and they have different ways of responding or working. So that is problematic. The fact that we don't have it.
Maybe this time I'll ask if all our panelists to just round it up with a 30-second, 1 minute.
You know, all that I have said, that for us, no matter what we talk about, you know, whatever plans we have, if those plans lack compassion, lack kindness, lack caring, we are not going to help the people of this country. Every response needs that. You know, while we're trying to avoid COVID, we're trying to contain it, we're trying to respond to it, we also have to look at the situation of the people, how it's impacting on them, everything that is happening right now. And then care, kindness, compassion, those are the things that we have to work with to get in the way and help the people of this country.
Yes, basically it's just really just having a humane approach and a lot of empathy. There's also a lot of you know, stories of Solidarity, the Velomani, the butter system that's going on, but there's also just an empty silence and so forth. So you know, so it's really just calling for an approach that's inclusive and also has a lot of empathy and is humane.
My conclusion is just calling on the state to ensure that mechanisms and policies have the people's needs and human rights at the very center, and also reminding them of their responsibility, that this also should be a multi-stakeholder approach, not just a single-man approach.
There's a group, some of us are a part of it. It's attempting to create dialogue spaces to think outside the box. And as much as COVID has, you know, how do you say, it's revealed the gaps and the cracks very, very deeply in our economic framework of our country. We can't keep on just talking about the health part of this crisis, when we all know that if we say we have COVID under control, then we need to talk about the economic recovery plan. And if the economic recovery plan is the one that we were being given yesterday, it's saying a lot without saying anything. And if this is the point where we can start to reset some of the ways we've been doing things, so for example, if the emphasis has always been on tourism, this may be the time to think a bit more creatively away from tourism and remind our people that if we're a small enough, confident enough island state, we can develop our own economy and what it looks like instead of trying so hard to become like another country. What will that look like? To get to that point, we need creative thinkers who are not afraid to think outside the box. And if you listen to people like Dr. Wadanasi, like the former governor of Reserve Bank, Nasavanava Narude, they ask very pertinent questions about the economy. But it takes a lot of courageous leadership to get us to the point where we need to go and think outside the box for the benefit of our people. And if that means shifting the economic framework to suit the people of our country, then that's where we need to go. But to get there, we need leaders who are unafraid to take us there. So we should keep pushing our leaders to find the courage to care for our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Chantal. Taking off from what Chantal has said, the 8 organizations that make up the alliance, we work on diverse issues and different approaches in terms of the strategies we employ. And even though 7 of us are, based in Suva and 1 in the West, we can come together and converse regularly, plan remotely, online, and address or come and express solidarity or see the issues in a particular place within a span of time. And we, I think, demonstrate what can happen if our leaders put their differences aside and take on similar approaches. So if we can do it, and we have done it, for decades, and I think it can be done. And so the Veilomang, the Lolomang, all of that can be translated and must be translated into compassionate responses for people now and in the future. And with that, I think it's only appropriate to echo my colleague's comment on none of this is in the vacuum of an individual response. It has to accompany accountability, aspects of good governance, transparency, so that every decision that is made for people on the name of people must be communicated back. There has to be all attempts made to talk to everyone, develop the plans, implement it, and make sure everybody understands what is being done, why, for who, and how. Because if we can do it, I'm sure those that are putting in the rules and standards can also do it.
Just want to get, I was listening to people, and I just want to say something, is that leadership has to be fearless, but also the people have to be fearless. There is too much fear in this country. People have a lot of ideas, people want to move forward, but there is a lot of fear. People need to express what they're feeling. They need to express opinions. And I find it very difficult, and I've been in this space for 35 years now, and I've been through so many coups. I'm here, the matriarch. Yeah? So I've been through so many coups, and we've been there, and all that. This is the first time in my country I am feeling this fear so acutely, not personally, but from people. People don't even want to discuss. They look around. Who is around before they will give an opinion? So as a people, if we really want to move forward, also, we have to tell people what we want. We have to speak truthfully and fearlessly.
Thank you. Thank you to all. My final call is that the whole thing is about people. It's been said enough times. It's the human beings we are dealing with. And everything, it has to be people focused. While we're talking about economy and everything else, it has to be people focused. We're talking about health. We've just had an elder abuse, we marked the day. What's happening with elders right now with NCD meds not being available? Our people living with disability are not able to access basic services. What's going to happen to our children in terms of not only education and food? So we would like to start hearing different segments of the community. We are hearing about the rural-urban dynamics. We need to have these conversations loudly. I appeal to the people in the rural areas to show leadership as well in dealing with this crisis as people are coming back. And I appeal to the people in urban centers who are suffering to please reach out. Do not suffer alone. There are organizations there ready to support. And people who are willing to support us on the ground can reach out to Nali
and they're helping us with the response on the ground. While we're waiting for the state, I call on the religious institutions to please respond urgently. Our people are hungry and are in need, and this is the time they need hope more than anything else. So I'd like to thank my sisters who have been actually able to travel from Suva. We all have